Welcome to this video on broad-spectrum data access governance from OpenText. The objective of data access governance is supporting individuals operating in these roles, plus others in an organization. We serve these roles in two ways: by securing data in a way that supports their specific needs, and secondly, supporting these individuals in their role related to AI deployment in their organization. We do this by leveraging the convergence of identity and data, specifically around the access that individuals are afforded to data in the organization. Let's talk about data itself. We have two different kinds of data: structured and unstructured. Unstructured data represents about 80% of a common organization's data footprint. Within that, there's a lot of cloud data, and there's a lot of redundant, outdated, or trivial data, known as rot, that needs to be effectively dealt with. You have to understand the data in order to effectively manage and secure it. You can't protect what you don't know, but if you understand your data and the security of it, that allows you to focus on what's important. Rot is a real concern in unstructured data, but there are likely bigger problems than just the rot. Within the context, we have misplaced, orphaned, risky, or exposed data that likely crosses the rot boundary. This type of data represents a significant percentage of your data that needs attention from a security and governance perspective. This is nothing new, as this data has been accumulating for years and the growth rate is exploding. But there is something new. There's a larger problem at play now, and that's the deployment of AI. So as AI is deployed in an organization through initiatives like Copilot, this data is directly in play, and that is causing great concern and delays in deployment. What AI sees and tells is driven by the user rights that are in place. The answer to this is to govern the data first. By applying broad-spectrum data access governance processes, we're able to enforce consistent policy and ensure that the right data is only available to the right people at the right time for the right purpose. Then users will only have access to what they need, and AI will only see what it should. Thinking about structured and unstructured data, most of the structured data in an organization sits behind applications and databases, while the unstructured data is accessed through a myriad of methodologies and for a myriad of reasons. Application owners approve, review, and effectively govern access to the structured data, but that doesn't really exist appropriately on the unstructured data side. If we think about application entitlements being the gatekeeper of structured data, identity governance does a great job of that. But even for that, there's a hole in the story. When data is exported out, maybe through a report to a spreadsheet or PDF, it becomes a piece of unstructured data, which is then subject to the same concerns. Data access governance means to mitigate those problems for that data and the rest. We need to make sure we get the rights correct. And by the rights, we mean ensuring that the right people have the right access to the data for all the right reasons. We use a construct of identity and role assignments with entitlements to the data to ensure that this happens. We do this through the intersection of the identity and data using a combined fabric construct. The identity fabric consists of assigning individuals to specific roles for specific purposes within the organization. And then those roles are afforded access through entitlements to specific sets of data for specific purposes at specific access levels. This allows us to deploy zero trust, and more specifically least privilege, and achieve goals like separation of duties. Let's look at an example of this at a hospital with two sets of highly sensitive, compliance-driven data. One person is a member of the physician's role, and the physician's group has access to patient data. Similarly, we have another person that is an attorney that has access to the business interest of the hospital. Misaligned roles or entitlement assignments is what leads to problems. So we manifest this through the fabric construct and policy enforcement, which allows us to mitigate risk by dealing with misplaced, orphaned, and risky data and associated exposure problems. Plus, because people have the access that they actually need to do their jobs, we achieve organizational velocity. Within OpenText, there are two pillars in the Cybersecurity business unit that are united in this solution. One is Voltage Data Security, with a family of offerings in which data access governance has a role to play. The other is NetIQ Identity and Access Management and its family of products, which data access governance is also connected to. Looking at these together, on the data side, we see the Data Security Platform, which gives us data discovery. On the other side, we have the identity governance and identity management platform. Through data access governance integration, we have connectivity that we refer to as broad spectrum data access governance. Using this connectivity, we achieve ROI using a phased approach. First, understanding our data, understanding the access, and then being able to put monitoring and policy in place for automation and be able to do attestation through access reviews, uniting governance of data right alongside applications. In the end, that allows us to reach our original stated goals, data secured and AI contained, in a way that allows the AI deployment to be accelerated in the organization. Thank you.